Home inspections came about because it was a career field that he had some background in.
You've been in home inspection industry for 5 years, right? What's the biggest lesson you have learned so far?
I don't say this in a prideful way, but we're good at our jobs. We always have had success in career and climbed the corporate ladder.
Do you think everyone is built to be an entrepreneur?
Absolutely not.
What's the craziest thing you have found during a home inspection?
Yeah, so there are lots of things. I'm Erin Brite. I am a co-owner of Lighthouse Services Group. We are a property inspection firm. We work in residential and commercial inspections.
So what led you to start a home inspection business?
My husband. It is my husband, but he was a really successful businessman, and he traveled throughout the Midwest over 8 states, and he was gone Monday through Thursday pretty consistently while we have 4 children at home. And so it was out of a desire to be more present in our children's lives, be more present in our community, that he began looking for somewhere where he could use those skills that he's learned in business, budgeting, management, staffing, but also and make a living wage, but also be home every night. Home inspections came about because it was a career field that he had some background in. And then once our business was successful enough, he got to a point where he was going to have to hire someone to do administrative, marketing, that kind of stuff. Or he invited me in if I was interested to join him, and I was. So that's how I joined the company.
And what was he doing before, and what were you doing before getting into the business?
Yeah. So he was a regional manager for a food service company. So they were contract dining. And I was actually a social worker for about 12 years when we only had 2 children. And then we doubled and had twins. And so at that point, I don't know if you know it, but social workers actually make even less than teachers. And so I chose to stay home at that point. So I stayed home for a number of years between my career as a social worker and then joining Lighthouse.
You've been in home inspection industry for 5 years, right? What's the biggest lesson you have learned so far?
Yeah, I would say that the people you choose to align yourself with and work with, that matters. Someone gave me some advice, and they said, be particular about who you work with. And at the time, I was naive and said, I want to work with everyone. I do really like people. I think that's the social worker background in me. And so I kind of said, okay, sure, but I didn't really understand what he was trying to tell me. After a few years being a part of the company, I realized there's people that you work with that they have the same values as your company. They have the same practices as your company, and it just really makes sense to work together. And then there's other people that we've worked with a few times, and it just becomes clear that our values don't align. Not that they're right or we're right, but it's just different. And as opposed to trying to force the relationship, sometimes it just makes sense to say, okay, maybe we're not a great fit for them, or they're not a great fit for us.
Yeah. Do you think if you had to compare as a W-2 or an entrepreneur, or like, what do you think is, I wouldn't want to say this, but then I want to want you to give us more context. Like, what do you think is more easier, or like a W-2 or an entrepreneurship?
Sure.
So,
I think it depends on your tolerance. I am a person who was very comfortable working as a W-2 employee for another company because it felt very comfortable, reliable. Our benefits were taken care of. Our children had health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing that I ever had to be concerned about. And because John and I both, and I don't say this in a prideful way, but we're good at our jobs. We always have had success in career and climbed the corporate ladder or whatever. So it always felt very reliable and dependable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship felt, I should say, the idea of entrepreneurship felt very dangerous to me.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I remember early on, John and I having conversations. The first year, he wanted to make this big change and take this big risk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the risk taker. He is the risk taker. I take very calculated risks. So I said to him, well, I know you have this grand plan. And he is a planner, so it's very thorough and detailed,
Mm-hmm.
and I trust that. But in my opinion, I couldn't trust all the other variables.
Mm-hmm.
The real estate market, who's going to work with us? Are we going to get referrals? Like, there's so many variables that you don't control when you own your own business, and that's what scared me. Not that we weren't putting together a good plan, was you have this amazing career. You make a great living for our family. We're well provided for. Why would you walk away from that you've been building for 15 years
Mm-hmm.
to something that doesn't exist?
Do you think everyone is built to be an entrepreneur?
Absolutely not. I don't think I would have been. It wasn't until I started to see our success that I really got excited about entrepreneurship.
What type of properties do you inspect most often? Residential, investment, or commercial?
Certainly residential is what some people would say our bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's very regular. I mean, there are seasons in the market, but it's very reliable. The commercial is more lucrative, but it is not as at this point, because I would say we're still building that side of the company more so.
Mm-hmm.
So we enjoy that side of it, but it's not as common.
Okay. What are some of the most surprising or costly issues you have uncovered during an inspection?
Yeah. We do see a lot of foundation issues. They're not always costly or unmanageable. Often they are manageable. But recently we saw a home where the main steel beam,
Mm-hmm.
traveling the length of the foundation, the basement ceiling, had, because of the way the wall was moving, had pushed through to the outside of the home. So you could be in the basement and looking through past the I-beam and see daylight. And then when you were outside of the home, you could actually see the I-beam protruding as well as other steel components.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is this a house that's like being bought by an investor or a regular?
Just a regular home buyer. And it is a house that moved forward. They were able to get a structural engineer in to design a repair, and that buyer did move forward and buy the house.
What's the biggest misconception people have about home inspections?
I would say that it's that we're offering them information about a home, but we're not going to be able to uncover everything about a home. If you think about it, we have 3 to 4 hours. I think we take more time than most. So 3 to 4 hours of time with a home, and it's non-invasive and it's visual only. So we're not pulling down drywall.
Mm-hmm.
We do have infrared cameras so we can somewhat see behind walls, but not totally.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the misconception is that a home inspector should catch everything. And that's just not going to be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have a very, very well-trained home inspector.
For the real estate investors who tend to skip an inspection
Yeah.
on residential especially, what's one thing you recommend?
Yeah, I always recommend sewer scopes. And I think a lot of investors do that potentially just because no one can see unless you run a sewer line camera,
Yeah.
what condition the sewer line is in. And then the other thing I guess I would say is if you're a serious investor, taking some time to potentially take some online courses, it's very inexpensive to get a little bit of education. So say you have some skills, but there's areas like electrical or plumbing or structure that you're not as knowledgeable about. Take a course, get a little more information so that you can feel a little more confident yourself.
What's your best advice for buyers and investors to make the most of a home inspection?
Yeah, so I would say let your home inspector have time at the house alone. It's such a people, especially first-time home buyers, they really want to be involved. But actually by being present for the full inspection, you can actually cause the inspector to miss something.
What's the craziest thing you have found during a home inspection?
Yeah, so there are lots of things that are surprising and interesting and weird and you don't understand. But so we had a home inspection in kind of a rural area, and we could tell it was a flip. So sometimes flippers do a really great job, and sometimes they do less of a great job. So the home inspector said to me, at first I thought they had done a really great job. Like everything appeared to have been done very well, and the craftsmanship seemed to be great. And then I got up in the attic and I realized when I looked at the rafters that there had been a house fire because they were burnt and black, and you could tell there was damage from the fire. But what he then was concerned about is what happened downstairs, like what drywall was replaced without potentially repairing things downstairs.
Okay.
So that was that was surprising.
Yes. Wow. What's one home issue buyers constantly overlook but can cost them thousands later?
Sewer scopes. I would never not do a sewer scope, even on new builds, because we find, a contractor is done doing the tiling in the bathroom and just pours the grout down the sink and thinks they've like washed it down or whatever, but then it's narrowed the line significantly. So to me, $200 for a sewer scope is so worth it in the long run. You're looking at $10,000 to $20,000 for certain repairs, depending. So to me, it's invaluable.
Yes. Okay. So even for new builds, you would recommend sewer scope?
I would.
What's the most common quick fix sellers try to hide before an inspection?
Yeah. Painting basements. So painting basement walls white, it seems as though you're like an unfinished basement. I'm sorry, to be clear. So unfinished basement, and they paint the whole wall white and maybe even the floors, the exposed flooring, black or white or whatever color.
Yeah.
For us, often it can conceal water lines where they've had previous leaking. It can conceal wood destroying insect damage. It can conceal corrosion on plumbing. There's just a lot.
What's one home feature that always makes you think, this is a disaster waiting to happen?
Skylights, which it's lovely. I love natural lighting as much as the next person, but those almost always fail because it's just more opportunity for water to enter the home. And people don't maintain the caulking around the window or make sure that the flashing is right. And it's just they leak so frequently.
So what are the most common type of repairs that you would see? Like if you have to say, Okay, foundations are the number one thing.
Buyers are most concerned about would be electrical panels. So there's certain electrical panels that are more dangerous. So
Mhm.
those are large safety concerns. Certain panels throughout the years are fire hazards. And so if you buy a home, and Cincinnati has plenty of old homes.
Mhm.
And so if you buy a home that has a certain panel, again, it could be replaced and brought up to current code, and that could be totally fine, but it could be a large expense. So it's
Mhm.
something to be aware of. So electric, I would say sewer lines could be. Right now, roofing is it's a hot button in real estate right now because insurance companies have shifted over the last year to where they honestly aren't even insuring certain roofs. So everyone's required, if you have a mortgage, to get home insurance. Well, if the roof is uninsurable,
Mhm.
then that becomes a really a point that if you can't negotiate who's going to pay to replace the roof or all of those things, then that could be a really serious issue for a home buyer.
What are three small issues on an inspection report that could turn into major problems?
Sure. So downspouts and gutters, those are such a small issue. And I think often even realtors potentially roll their eyes at it. It's such a small issue and it's such an easy fix, but the way that your gutter system moves water, we call it sheds water away from your
Yeah.
house, it can save or destroy your foundation.
Yes.
So it's such a minor and inexpensive repair, but it can cost you so much money in the long run if you don't take care of it. Roofs, again, and not even talking about the whole roof, but sometimes you get a report that might talk about flashing, or if there's certain vent pipes that aren't sealed, or nail heads maybe that are not sealed. People might think that's such a small issue, and it is such a small issue, and it's such an easy repair. But if you don't, then you're going to have water intrusion, which is going to create a whole mess that you really don't want. Oh, I would just say any kind of leak inside of the house, any kind of pipes that might be corroded, might have a slight leak. That's the time to really
Mhm.
fix it because it's going to be an inexpensive fix. Might be more money than you want to spend because plumbers, if you don't have the skills yourself, plumbers are expensive. But say a $300 repair as opposed to
Yes.
your whole flooring and multiple levels in your home. I mean, you're talking $10,000. So those three things: gutters, small portions of the roof, and then any kind of interior water corrosion on pipes or leak. Those are three really small, manageable issues that can become huge in the long run. And you see, they're all related to water.
Mhm. Yes.
So we always say water is your house's number one enemy. And it's all about shedding water away from your home, keeping it out of your home. And that's the best way to preserve your home.
What's something most home buyers worry about that actually isn't a big deal?
Certain foundation cracks,
Mm-hmm.
vertical specifically, most vertical foundation cracks, it can be scary to a buyer. But in all honesty, with a vertical foundation crack, you can get that filled for $250.
If you had to start your home inspection business from scratch today, what's the first thing you would do?
Well, I would say education first. Make sure you know what you're doing, but then marketing. Um, yeah. So education, make sure you understand what you're trying to sell someone.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this, like, you need to have the skills.
What's the biggest mistake new home inspectors make when starting their business?
Yeah. So often new home inspectors go to a school, and I have seen that schools promise, look, you can make this amount of money on a home inspection. And if you do 10 home inspections a week for a year, this is how much money you could make. And it's a lot of money. And it looks like this very attractive career opportunity. And home inspections can be a great career opportunity, but not year one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the most misunderstood thing, that people coming right out of a home inspection school, or even their own online pursuit of education, because some you can just take online, is that, well, I'm gonna get my license, and I'm going to build a website, and then people are just gonna flock to me because that is how it's presented. But in fact,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of networking and relationship building to be able to get people to trust you to start referring their home inspections to you. Getting a website is great. We're 5 years old. We've paid for SEO work. We really ask for reviews regularly because that helps you to rank higher on the Google search. But honestly, a brand new home inspector who has no reviews and no history, it's not going to be enough to get the jobs that you're looking for.
How long did it take before you started making real money in the business?
So we're a little unconventional in the way that we entered into the business. John was doing it part-time while he had another career that he was doing from home. So we were part-time, and then we hired 2 inspectors who were also part-time. They were full-time police officers, part-time home inspectors. So we had 3 part-time employees. It's not necessarily the most traditional approach. For us, it allowed us to put systems into place to work on marketing before anyone was really desperate to feed their family. So that was the way that we built it. So I would say we didn't make good money. Probably for the first 2 years, it didn't start to really produce. Now, could someone else start making really great money quicker than that if they were all in? Potentially, yes. But that was kind of our path. Again, I told you John came from a career where he was all about systems, and his vision was never to be a single operator who was just doing home inspections and then living his life. His idea was always to have a team. So to be able to put into place our website, to start getting it ranked, to create the systems of how we would make sure quality assurance, how customer care is really important to us. So what are the things that we needed to get into place to be able to automate a lot of that? Just all the different components of owning a business, to take our time and really do that well. So I wouldn't say it's that we weren't all in, because time-wise,
Yes, you were all in.
there was a lot of effort and energy spent towards it, but it was intentional to really build it well. We also really turned, for the first, I would say 2 years, just turned our profits back into the company, where we were buying more sewer scopes. We were buying drones and crawl bots. We were investing in our team, and we didn't need the profits to finance our life.
Yes. So you were putting back in your time and money, reinvesting into the business.